Welcome to another RES Wave update. Okay, so in this video, I'm just going to talk about the reversal pattern that we're seeing here. There's not much has happened since the bounce, apart from a little bit of consolidation going on at the moment. But if you're looking at this in a candle perspective, we are seeing on this particular chart a hammer with a long wick to the bottom side. The top wick is very small. That is a morning star pattern, basically a very bearish, a bullish reversal signal, and we've had the confirming candle. So at the moment, if we look in a bit closer, we can see what's happened since, and this is just getting started. So we've seen our first 5 waves up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a consolidation. I can see an A, a B. So far, that's all I can see. Sometimes A waves can be sharp, just to prove a point. Let's go back to the daily, just so you can see the type of sharpness an A wave can have. Now, if you're looking at this particular wave here, since 2018, we are seeing quite a large sharp A. So once that tends to happen, the rest of the waves seem to just be smaller and expand to the upside before eventually beginning the new trend. So it's the same at every level. There's no need to go into too much detail there. It's all about just understanding the waves. Okay. So right now I cannot see anything apart from the beginning of a 5-wave move up for the start of wave D. I expect to see wave 3 commence soon. Consolidation for the first part of wave D, and then we'll get the wave B. So if you go to the hourly chart, now obviously, sorry, let me go to the 4-hour chart. So we're expecting a D and an E. So depending on how this pans out, we would be seeing the B wave correction for that particular D wave, and then the rest of the D wave before getting the E wave to complete the B wave in brackets. And then we can start talking about more bullish activity. And this is just looking at XLMBTC against the Bitcoin. So really, it's just the beginning right now. There's not much to say apart from everything seems to be going as planned or as analyzed, more like it. Nobody plans this. This is crowd behavior. So looking back at the XLM USD, right, it's pretty straightforward here. There's a lot of strength in the market. We saw a gap up, and this continued as expected. Of course, we have to see a consolidation before we continue higher. So what this will eventually end up being is yet to be seen, but judging by the waves that I'm seeing, it's basically getting ready to move up higher very shortly. Okay, so that's just a quick update on that one. Obviously, we need to see higher prices for anything else to be confirmed. I do expect to see the first wave at least hit the all-time high. Okay, so if we're looking at whether this be a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I can't pin it right now because all I can see is 5 waves up potentially, and a correction. So let's just wait and see what happens there. Now, the whole point of the previous ideas on XLM prove that we are about to see it move up. According to RSWave anyway, it proves, according to RSWave, that XLM will definitely be outperforming Bitcoin in percentage wise, relative to its current value. Okay, because obviously we know Bitcoin's worth a lot more than XLM, but it's going to gain more value in Satoshis and USDs. Okay, so we have more of a holistic view now that we're starting to see the XLMBTC chart as well as the XLMUSD chart. To me, it's the same thing. It's just extra evidence to confirm the analysis. Okay, so looking back quickly at the major player, Bitcoin. I did say in the previous video that we are potentially seeing an ABC pattern. However, this could be a little bit more complex than that. But for now, we're just going to stick to that idea. Bitcoin cannot break. In order for this idea to not be invalidated, Bitcoin cannot go above 43,000. Okay. If Bitcoin goes above 43,000, then this particular idea is invalidated and I will need to readjust the count. Okay. Now, if we're talking in, just say, for example, if Bitcoin does continue higher, because we have to look at all angles here. Okay. To me, I don't see how that fits into the greater picture. We'd have to see an A wave. And I cannot make an A wave out of this unless there was an A, B, C, D, E, but that doesn't look like a 3-wave move. That doesn't look like a, to be honest with you, that pattern's quite a difficult one. In the opinion that this is a top, this pattern here is simply put a zigzag, right? With all of its internals there. So A, B, C, D, E, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Top followed by a break of the wave fall low for that one. Now, I've already given you the count in my previous video on Bitcoin. So right now, if we take a look at the 4-hour chart, even in terms of candlestick reversal patterns, we can see that we are seeing a bit of resistance here below that red line, which is the point of no return. Basically, this is the area of importance right here, right? In this area, okay? So if we break above this area, we have to readjust the count. We have to reanalyze the situation. If we break below it, then the idea is confirmed, okay? So this idea can only be confirmed that it's going lower if we break below the last low. If we break above the last high, then we need to reconsider what we're looking at. It potentially could mean that E wave might be moving a bit higher, potentially. If it breaks above this level up here, well, obviously that's a bullish signal, right? But we're nowhere near that yet. So let's take this one step at a time. The count still remains the same for Bitcoin. Okay, so we're talking about XLM completely outperforming Bitcoin because Bitcoin has hit its B wave top, according to this count, which could be wrong. Okay, I'm just trying to use RES Wave in the best way possible to keep you updated, and that's what I continue to do. Okay, so for now, we have to be patient and just wait and see what happens around this area. Okay, there is no point trying to guess what's going to happen from here. People who comment bull market, Bitcoin is not in a bull market. If anything, it was in a bull market rally. Sorry, a bear market rally. Okay, Bitcoin was in anything that is up is a bear market rally, right? So for example, this is not a bear market rally. A B would be. A C would definitely not be a rally. A D would be. Okay, a bear market rally. So if you see that happen, you might get surprised by the E, right? Can you see the fractal nature? But that doesn't mean that it's going to happen that way, right? Sometimes these patterns take different shapes and forms, which I explain in various videos that I do. Okay, so we could see a CDE pattern depending on what's coming. We could see a C wave which doesn't go as low as I say. However, if we're using the XLMBTC chart as a guide, then I can see there's definitely going to be some kind of divergence in price, where one's going to go one way, one's going to go the other. I just don't see anything else that could possibly cause what the chart is telling me. Okay, so instead of just forming an opinion because I believe we're in a bull market, I'm using RES Wave as the yardstick, right? The measurements, the methodology, the wave patterns, right? It's a complete methodology that is very specific, right? So once you see certain things happen, you can't really just use your own judgment if you don't have the knowledge, because that's just guessing, right? If you think that Bitcoin is amazingly bullish because Michael Saylor says so, or because your friend tells you, or because the news tells you, that's not really a strategy. In fact, most of the time, the crowd is wrong. So that's why I spent all the time trying to find a way, create a program, create a methodology, create a strategy, whatever you want to call it, right? A way of reading the waves that just tells me what's going to happen rather than me trying to guess what's going to happen. Because if you're guessing, chances are you lose money all the time, okay? And if you're not willing to dedicate the time to learning the waves, there is no point even bothering with learning the waves, right? So that's the quick update. Nothing much to say right now apart from be patient. We will eventually see something happen, and I'll be there to report. So hopefully you found this video interesting and informative. Thank you for watching.